If it's possible for bread to be romantic, this one is. There's nothing I can say about it that won't sound like an exaggeration, but I don't even care. I'll make a fool of myself over this, and at the risk of sounding like another white girl exaggerating about bread, I'll say it. This is the best bread I've ever had. I made it for a romantic Valentine's Day brunch, but my partner better be extra nice or I'm not sharing. It's called wine and cheese bread, and it's absolutely incredible. Of course, it starts with flour and yeast, like most breads, but it's the white wine that really starts to set it apart. Warmed to melt the butter and seasoned with sugar and salt, it's added to the flour along with the eggs and beaten together on high until the dough becomes light and fluffy. Then you gradually add as much as the remaining flour is needed and fold in the last magical ingredient, cheddar cheese, cubed, not shredded, so it beautifully decorates the bread with tasty cheese dots. After kneading for just a short time, the bread is set aside to rise, covered, then punched down, left to rest, then shaped into a round loaf and set aside to rise one more time. It's baked uncovered for the first half, then loosely covered for the final stretch. Honestly, I think I underbaked mine a bit. I think my oven's on the fritz, but even as flawed as my baked was, it tasted phenomenal. The wine flavor really comes through, and the cheese adds a richness I wasn't expecting. The caramelized bits of cheese on the outside were delicious, and the earthy sweetness of the wine perfectly enhanced the yeast flavor. I used extra sharp cheddar and champagne since that's what I already had on hand, and I wouldn't change a thing. But you can use any type you prefer and adapt it to your taste. Now I'm going to go eat another slice while I call a repairman about my oven, but even if this is the last bread my oven bakes, I will retire it happily. As always, this isn't my recipe. I was just fortunate to find it in a vintage community cookbook, specifically the 1982 Jambalaya Cookbook of the Junior League of New Orleans. So thank you so much for sharing this incredible recipe, and I hope it inspires you to cook more old recipes.